It costs $328 a day to live in the Dominican Republic. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly why that is, and I'm gonna teach you how you can calculate your cost of living moving down here. Let's dive in. Cost of living is the biggest topic that comes up for people when they're asking me about living down here. And there's one of many responses that I get to true cost of living in Dominican Republic. And here's the thing, none of them are wrong. It just all depends on you. There are multiple different types of expats or immigrants that move to the Dominican Republic from the United States. Most of who watches my stuff are Dominican Americans looking to repatriate. And amongst that, cost of living will vary widely. The first group are the minimalists. There are people that will move here with the idea that I can spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month and live very comfortably. Whereas in the States, I'm spending 2-3 times that and I feel like I'm not getting ahead. And that's real. You can do that. There are incredible accounts out there that you can watch and follow that talk about minimalism. My issue with minimalist accounts is typically when they share cost of living, they're sharing cost of living for fixed expenses as if every day is the same. And that's fine. Some people every day is the same and they are able to live on a very low budget per month. And I envy you. I wish I could to some extent. But I just think pop-up expenses aren't respected enough when we're talking about minimalism. The next group, the word that I've heard recently called is geo-arbitrage. So this is like, look, I don't need to live in a minimalist lifestyle, but lifestyle in the United States is costing more than it should, and I can take my income that I make, I could still make it down there in DR, and I could spend less. And that's very reasonable. Depending on where you choose to live and how you choose to live, you absolutely can. What I would say to this group though is some of the bigger expenses, if you can afford to lay them out early in chunks, like buy a car cash, buy a house cash, or pay it off before you make this move. That will help significantly limit your expenses monthly while you're living here. And then the third group is a group of people probably like me that the priority moving here is not frugality. Now this drives the other two groups nuts. I started this video, and I'm going to explain it, saying $328 a day is how much it costs to live here. If you extrapolate that, that's $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year. Group one and group two are like, what? Are you crazy in Dominican Republic? That's nuts. You can live like a king, da-da-da-da. And the answer is you could, but you can also live kind of a normal life for $10, $12, $15,000 a month here. It all depends on what you want to do. The issue I have with group one and group two, when it comes to group three, people like me, where frugality and budget are not the priority in moving, it's a lifestyle move, is the lack of acceptance of that. In other words, if I, as somebody who's not prioritizing budget, see somebody who wants to move here for frugality, go for it. Or if you want to move here for geo-arbitrage, go for it. Do you. But the person that's sitting out there, the Dominican American in particular, who's saying, look, and maybe this is you, I'm okay spending some money living there, but I feel bad saying it because there's all these people who are going to tell me I'm crazy. My family, my friends, like, oh my God, you can live for much less. I want to give permission to this group to not feel guilty about the fact that you may live on a decent budget living here, and 10 grand a month might be the starting point. I recently did a post where I said I went and got my head shaved because my razor broke and I ordered a new one from Amazon. And I went to this local barbershop and put a story up on Instagram and said, how much was it? And I gave 3 different choices. And the amount was $20. 10 minutes, 15 minutes in the chair, $20. And the amount of response I got like that's crazy. In Santo Domingo, it's this. You should only pay that. You should only pay this. And my reply to all those people was, look, okay, for me, I can drive 20, 30 minutes into Beron, into Friusa and get a haircut, 400 pesos. But then I got to spend an hour round trip doing that. And that's not my priority. My priority is not to find the cheapest price. My priority is I walked to this barbershop. It took me a few minutes to go there, a few minutes to get back, and I was on with my day. And there's a lot of people that are like that. For those of you that are like me, that are active in your own entrepreneurial endeavor, that hour could create thousands of dollars of income for me. And in fact, that day, it did. I had a call with somebody that was looking to partake in one of the services I offer, and they ended up buying for $5 grand. An hour for $5 grand or an hour saving $10. Which one do you do? That's just the way I think. That's the way an entrepreneur thinks. And the person that's moving down here that says,
hey, look, I don't value money as much as I value time because time creates money.
That's the group that's going to spend $328 a day. So look, how do you know if you're group A, B, or C? Here's the way. This is a simple test. Very easy to do. How do you do it now? If you are really great at budgeting and living frugally, then the chances are when you move here, you'll do the same thing. So God bless you on the minimalist minimalist side. If you are somebody that can see the way to spend a little bit less on your money living here, then you'll be in group 2, no problem. But if you're somebody that says, oh, I'm gonna move there and live on $2,000 or $3,000 a month because somebody told me I could, but meanwhile, you don't look at the right side of the menu. You stop at Starbucks whenever you want. It's not a big deal on a Friday when food is made and in the fridge to eat for you to say, let's just go out. If that's how you're living now, that's how you're gonna live here, point blank. The location changes, the behavior doesn't. So if you're somebody that thinks that I spend a good buck living where I live and I live this way, but when I move there, I'm gonna be very different, probably not. Don't try to be a minimalist if you're not one now. Or maybe if you want to be a minimalist, test it there before you test it here. It's real easy to spend money here. Here's the thing. People are going to tell you that you can live for less, no matter what. I put up a post once about a tire that I had replaced. A 16-inch brand new tire, not used, not recycled, brand new, 60 bucks. I went online and found that tire at Price Mart. It was like $58. So the guy charged me $2 to mount and balance it. When I said it was 60 bucks, 100 people replied right away saying,
oh, you could get that for less.
I could say it was free and somebody's going to tell me I could have gotten it for less. That's the culture in the Dominican Republic I've learned. Like, no matter what price you say, somebody's going to tell you can get it for less. So when you say I'm moving there and it's this gringo keeps telling me it's going to be maybe $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, and somebody's like, that's crazy, it's only going to be $1,000, make sure you understand what that $1,000 is. Here's an example. If I said to you, you spent $80 on sneakers, I could get you that for $5. You might be like, okay, that's cool if you can get me sneakers for $5, but like, what's the quality of them? Where are they? Like, are they gonna wear out? Are they name brand? You're gonna ask questions. I would just tell you, ask questions when somebody says they live on $1,000 a month. Do they not have a car? Do they not have health insurance? Are they single? Do they have kids? Do you have kids? Like, make sure it's a comparison that's viable and reasonable for you and your lifestyle, not just, oh, it's $1,000 a month. I could live for $1,000 a month tomorrow. I don't want to. What it would take to do that, I'm not interested. No, thank you. So how do you live at $328 a day? Let's just add this up very quickly. If you rent or have a mortgage at $2,000, you have 2 kids and you're putting them in a private bilingual school, it's another $2,000 a month. Electric is another $500. We're already halfway to $10,000. Food, insurance, parties, get-togethers, travel. If you're gonna travel around and check stuff out here, it's gonna add up. I could go line by line for you, but you get my point. We go to Las Terrenas, we go to Cabarete, we go to Santo Domingo, we get these Airbnbs, we spend a little bit of money enjoying our time here. And if you don't have kids and you're saying,
oh, I don't have kids, I'll send money in education.
You're moving to a very social culture. So what you will have is the expense, unless you're just a complete hermit, of going out Friday night, Saturday, maybe Wednesday afternoon, grab a drink, have some food, grab lunch with friends. Oh, there's a farmer's market. Let me get some chocolate. All these things are going to add up. Just look at your lifestyle as it is and then decide whether or not you're going to be a different person when you move to a different country. Chances are you aren't. $328 a day is not crazy. $10,000 a month is not crazy. $120,000 a year is not crazy. I know people that spend way more. You can live for less, but make sure the living situation aligns with what you want, where you want, and how you want to live. Don't buy $5 sneakers without asking questions. It's my message of the day. 328 bucks a day. Make that your budget. After watching the first cut of the video that you just watched, I had 2 additional points I wanted to make sure I made, just to be crystal clear for everybody. The first is, in no way, shape, or form should this discourage you from making the move that you want to make. What I'm not saying is it costs way more money to live here than you ever could imagine. That's not the message. The video is intended simply to make the point that there are all different types of costs of living here in the Dominican Republic. And just to be honest with yourself, which one are you? If you're really good at being frugal, then you'll be really good at being frugal here and you can live in amazing spots and have an amazing life on a very low budget. But at the same time, many of you that I have reach out that don't say much, that don't ever really post or comment, that say,
I can't seem to get under 10K a month as I do my math on this.
I want to make it okay for you to know that that is possible as well. You don't need to feel bad about making the move if you've got the budget to spend, remote work, retirement, real estate investments, a business that lets you be remotely, whatever it is, and live at that level. It's okay. It's okay. The second thing is, this is where most people are going to start dropping comments about like,
my Dominican Republic is getting too expensive, gentrification, this, that, and the other.
In fact, I recently did a post about the same Regis opening in Cap Cana, and that was a lot of the comments.
This is gentrifying. It's costing too much money for locals.
Listen, Where I live, and Cap Cana, and places that many of you that would spend $10, $12, $15,000 a month to live would move to, you can't gentrify those. They're there. They already exist. Now, if you're saying you're gonna plop in the middle of Berón or in some neighborhood in Santo Domingo or Santiago that has lower income folks living there and build a St. Regis or a luxury building, yeah, that's gentrifying. And I know that it happens. But the people moving down here aren't looking to be pioneers in areas that need work. They're looking to move into the neighborhoods and the areas that already have the amenities at the expense that I talked about. So this isn't about gentrifying. And remember, for those like,
Ah, get out of my country, white guy.
like, I'm the only white guy in my family. The rest are Dominican. My wife, my kids, and all my in-laws that are here, they seem to like me being here. But those are two key points I wanted to make to all of you. The other part is, look, why people follow me, I believe, and I'm learning is, hey, I see all the minimalist. I see the low cost of living. I see that you can do $4 for this and $6 for that, but I kind of like to see the other side of it, more of the what people would call luxury life. And again, luxury life here is kind of middle class life there, I suppose. But I'm going to speak to those people that could probably afford a middle class or higher life here in the Dominican Republic. Either way, if you've got a budget and you've planned for it, don't be discouraged because I said, hey, it's $328 a day. It gets you watching, it gets you thinking, that's all I want. And for those that may spend that much or more, I just don't want them to feel as though that's such a bad, terrible thing, because the groups that are minimalist or geo-arbitrage tend to make those folks that have done well. They've honored what their family did, moving them into another country for the opportunity. They've gone out and they've taken full advantage of it. And if you want to spend that money here, God be with you. Don't feel bad about that. So I appreciate all of you watching. I appreciate support of the channel. I always forget to say the things like subscribe and like, but please do those things. It helps me grow. And if you're looking to buy down here, I'm all about helping people find great realtors. I think that's the tip of the spear if you're looking to buy here. Don't go out there on your own. Find somebody great, professional, award-winning, all of that. And I can happily help you with that. All you have to do is click the link down in the caption, fill out the form, and we'll connect you to a realtor. Of course, they'll pay me a percentage if you decide to close with them. But in any case, do your due diligence. If you don't like them, don't use them. I have no expectation of that. But if it helps you, that's what I'm here for. That's why I enjoy making this content. And your support of this channel helps me make more of it. Hope that helps.